Welcome, everyone. Welcome, friends. You know, I started this channel and I made video after video, day after day. I would post and upload a video because I was in my head, I thought, and I heard someone else say, you just stay grinding every day and make videos and you will eventually get somewhere, right? So it was coming from a place of me trying to get something, as always, as many of the things in my life that have caused me suffering stem from me trying to gain something in my life. But when you realize this is not the way, this is not the thing that'll bring you peace, right? And peace is what we're all looking for. It's not happiness. Happiness is a byproduct of the peace. So you don't chase happiness because you need to find the cause, not the effect. And the cause is to be peaceful in yourself. But you cannot be peaceful in yourself until you realize that you are Christ. Yeah. Growing up, I didn't believe in a God. I've probably said this in videos before. I didn't believe in a God just because the way my circumstances were growing up. I had things in my life that showed me that this world was godless. Uh, and I didn't think heavily into the the idea of there being a God or a higher source, an infinite intelligence. You grow up and you're blind to a lot of things. I mean, people stay blind to a lot of things their whole life, and I am very grateful that I've been awoken to things that are evident now, but before it wasn't so clear. But I've been through many processes and many phases of my life where I've gone through an atheist. I've been through an atheist phase where I just didn't think there was one. I didn't think at all. I didn't think. You know, it was the mind just saying, "Yeah, atheist is pretty edgy, bro." So let's call ourselves an atheist, right? Not looking any deeper, not doing research on, not even working on myself. That was the furthest thing I was trying to do was work on myself or better myself in any way. But yeah, growing up and all, I pushed back on religion, rightfully so though. Many religions do not know what the word of God is, and they think they do, but they're not following it. They think they followed the word of Jesus Christ, Jehoshua the Christ, but they don't, because what he says they are either afraid to do, call it demonic or the devil, or they're just blind to what he says. But the church is made to make money and they're made to promote fear. So Jehoshua the Christ was talking about something opposite of fear. He was talking about love, pure love that we all are, and we can all tap into. But fear and love can't exist in the same space. So naturally, they won't talk about what Jehoshua's teachings actually were, and that we can all come into this God consciousness while we're here on Earth, right? They think you letting don't let them, and you can't talk about meditation either because that's an Eastern thing, and that's whatever. That's devils. You're letting devils into your mind, whatever. Okay. But it says in the Bible, and it says in Jehoshua's words quite clearly. Maybe not clearly if you take the Bible literally and you take Scripture literally, but it says in there a lot of times it's littered throughout there with mysticism that aims and points to meditation as being the way that you can come into this God consciousness and that everyone can do it. You don't have to be special. No one's special here. Not as a human, like the human me, Keith Christian. I'm not special. I can do nothing. And I've learned this. I've learned that I can't do nothing in all of my life. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried to do things. I've tried to get a better job. I tried to get a different job that had different people at it. I thought that this would all bring me peace and happiness and my bills would be paid and I would be where I want to be in life. I tried to get partners to make it easier on my living situation, to split costs and to make life easier. And that's what we need to do. I find love and we form this. I'm not saying you can't do this. I'm not saying you can't do that. But for me, I was looking for all the wrong reasons. That's what none of my relationships worked, right? So it was a little bit of both. It was the people that I found and I searched out and I came into contact with and had a relationship with, but it was also me as well, because everything is you pushed out. And so through all of this trial and error, I realized that I cannot do anything myself. And we go through hell, quite literally, we go through hell, sadness, anger. I was a very angry person growing up, very angry. I was very angry probably 3 or 4 years ago now. Just that close, just not that far back in the distant past, I was a different person altogether than I am now. Uh, but through meditation first, before I realized that this is how you get to the Christ consciousness, it brought me a lot of peace, and so I naturally gravitated towards that more. And I'm a seeker by nature. I'm a seeker. I want to know the truth of things, and if the truth is that I can't do it by myself, even though the whole world basically moves that way, is that you have to do it on your own. Grind, 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 do it on your own. Independence, and nothing wrong with independence, but the way they come about independence is not the way. You can get there, but you're going to sacrifice your soul. You're going to sacrifice the essence in you. You're going to sacrifice the light in you that is God to get what you want. And therefore, you will quite literally live through a hellish existence. And I've lived through it. But I also thank the hellish existence and me being so naive to think that I can solve this all on my own. It's hard, though, whenever everyone around you, like I said, is telling you that you can do this all on your own. But if I could have, I think I would have. I don't want to live through. I'm very conscious of things, and it's just not it. Until you surrender, though, until you surrender the idea that you yourself can do everything and that you yourself can change your life and change your circumstances. You hand the key over in meditation. When you take no thought and you practice a single eye and your body fills with light. Shout out William Donahue. William Donahue, hidden meanings. Bless that man. Bless his teachings. Bless who he is and what he decided to do and what his calling was to bring to this earth, and that is to bring truth. And it is truth. I practice the word that he teaches, and it is the word of God, but it's brought forth into a way that we can now understand it better. Because if you rely on religion and you rely on churches and you rely on all these things, they skewer it and they send you down a path of getting nowhere, because it's all misconstrued and misunderstood. And the way he describes it and the way it was unfolded by me, I'm like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. When truth is truth because you feel it. You feel it within. You don't feel it up here. You don't feel it within the mind. You feel it within your being. When you know something is true, and you're not afraid, and when you know something is true, but you're not afraid to question your own beliefs, because many times you can be given truth, but the truth shatters a belief that you have, and so you automatically push back because you think the belief you had is what's true. But if you cannot even peel away the beliefs and poke and prod at them and put them under a microscope, like everything in life, if you cannot do that, you'll never reach the truth. You have to be a seeker, and you have to have the thirst for this wisdom. I was going to say knowledge, and it is knowledge, but it isn't knowledge in the way that the mind thinks it's knowledge. It's not just endless knowledge that oh yeah, I know this. I've seen so many movies. I know so many directors. I read so many books. I listen to so much music. I have all this knowledge, right? That's knowledge. I'm talking about wisdom that you feel. You already know it. You don't need to learn it. You need to relearn it, because already within your being, you know this to be truth. You've just forgotten since you've been here on this earthly planet. And so I say all of this to say that when you let go and let God, quite literally, as I just took a breath and exhale, peace. No longer do you have to burden the weight of your problems. No longer do you have to wonder and just run your mind in the down the drain, and your physical body, because they're both connected. It's all connected. When you no longer do you have to run all that down the drain to try to make your life better. We can't do it. You can't fix the situation you put yourself into with the same way that you got there, right? The mind put me in situations that I cannot seemingly get out of with the mind, right? Because you can't get out of it with the mind. You have to get out of it with the higher consciousness that I am. You have to get out of it with the grace of source. And through meditation, when you take no thought, you close down the left side and you open up the right side, and you get wisdom. You start moving differently in the world. If you're an angry person, you're not angry anymore. If you're an anxious person, you're not anxious anymore. Everything becomes clear because you're working from a different plane of existence at that point. You're not working on the 3D anymore. Your body's here, but you're just a vessel at that point because you are realizing that you are God. You are that source of happiness and peace and love. You are all of that. And when you tap into that, you naturally want to show it to others. At least that's how I am. And so I would just go to the store. I shit you guys not. I go to the store and eat something, but I will go to the store just to get out and to just, if I see people that need help, I want to help them. And usually I don't even have to ask. They come to me. I'm just, if I can be that beacon, that light, that beacon of light that is shining, that people can feel energetically. Maybe they don't feel it with their conscious mind, but they feel a gravitational pull to me in any way because I've did enough soul work. I've done enough cleaning out of all the muck, and I've took no thought, and I've let the God consciousness flow through me, and I want to show this to everyone else because this is what we are. This is how we change the world. Maybe I can't do it on my own, but if Jesus said, if Jehoshua the Christ said what he said was true, and it is true, because if you put it into practice, it is indeed true. Everything he said is true. If I'm not shining my light so that others can find the light, then what am I doing? I can read and I can read the Bible and I can read the Gitas and I can read the sutras all until the cows come home. But if I don't practice it in my everyday life, it's all for naught. Because you have to put it into practice and you have to be that shining light for everyone because they need it. Everyone needs it now. Just take a look. It's easy to see. It breaks my heart. Breaks my heart on multiple levels because I know where they're coming from and the sadness and the anger and the way that they feel about themselves and the world. So I understand from that point, and I've overcome it myself. And so if I can overcome it, so can you. It hurts to see people hurt. Hurt people, but heal people want to heal people. And that's what I want to do. That's what I feel called to do. I feel so called to do it that I just feel it so strong, like I can't do it myself. But with Source, with God, everything is possible. It's a visceral knowing when you feel it and you just want to share it. Because I hurt when I see people hurt. Because there's a better way. There's a more clear understanding of who you are, and you're not separate from anything. You're not separate from anybody. And when you know that, when you start to learn this, and everyone can learn it. Anyone watching this video, anyone that I come in contact with, anyone on this planet Earth right now, and beyond, in the cosmos, wherever you might be watching this, we all can tap into this. It's a universal truth. And so, if I don't know my calling to the T, I know damn sure that is to shed the light, to spread the light. Because what good is the light if you don't shine it on others to awaken the light within them? To raise everyone else's consciousness because you've raised your own. To raise everyone else's vibration and frequency because you've raised your own. Fill everyone else's cup because you've filled your own. And through that, heaven on earth. I apologize. The phone just popped out of the tripod that I have. I need a new one. But Heaven on earth is possible, guys, but it's a state of consciousness, and from that, everything else changes. And so, I will take my phone falling off the tripod in a very obnoxious way, and it's also heating up. I'll take that as the end of the video, and I thank you. I thank you for watching. I thank you for tuning in. If this resonates with you, let me know. My intention is that it both connects with people who resonate on this level, because it can only reach the same vibrational level and frequency that I'm on. So that's a given. But also people who are looking for the light. My intention is that you find this and then you get a little more clarity into who you are, and that is everlasting light. So thank you again. Massive love and respect to every single one of you who are walking the path of called life on this planet right now. So it's an integral time for us to figure out who we are, and I trust that you are going to find it, just like I am finding my way. The way is the way, and it will be found. Just trust and surrender into knowing that you got it. You got it. Thank you. Thank you again, guys. I love you so much, and see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.